Okay, we're live. Who wants to do a
I'm,
show about death?
I'm glad I got rid of that yawn right before we started.
Here we go.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to the Corpse Garden Chronicles. And with me today, I get the joy of having Pile Hazard, Mr. Chainer himself. So welcome back, buddy. I'm glad you're here.
I am too.
So this episode, we're going to do slightly differently. We are going to talk about death, how people see death, and how it's portrayed in media to begin with, and then how people have seen death as they're dying or in a near-death experience. And most people, as doing Corpse Garden Chronicles, you probably wonder if I'm afraid of death. I'm not afraid of dying. I'm apprehensive of how I will die. I'm not a fan of the pain. What about you? What are your thoughts? Are you afraid of dying?
No, it's always been one of those things. For 2010, it just absolutely started rolling in my head that I live, I will die. Unfortunately, that's just going to be the nature of the beast, and I'm not afraid of it. Um, when I talk about fear, it's more along the lines of kind of wondering what it'll be without me. Is everything taken care of? Is everything going to be a-okay? Is everybody going to know how much I cared about them? Because once I'm gone, I'm gone. There's no coming back from that.
That I understand. And as your friend, I know for a fact that you have been one of the best gifts in my life. I'm leaving behind different journals and things for my kids to read, quotes, little advice things, and recipes to do things, and pictures. And I have these shows, and they can sit back and listen to Mama read a story or tell them about something from her childhood. I'm hoping they feel the love and they know the love. I'm hoping. Okay, my mom died when she was 32. I've been afraid I wasn't going to get past that age since I was a teenager. And I'm 38 now. My asthma's in check. and I'm reaching some of my dreams with the help of you and Patty and Raz. Raz and Patty have been some of the biggest people to help me get dreams accomplished with Owlite and Fakor. Do you feel like you're accomplishing some of your dreams?
Considering that I never thought I would be this far with a lot of things, I had a whole older childhood thought that I wasn't worthy of a lot of things. And a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have kind of made me think differently. So I started getting the tools that would help me excel a lot farther in my adult life than my older childhood, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense to you. So, accomplishments of a lot of things. I didn't even know some things existed, but as soon as I found out they existed, I start reaching for everything I could touch, grab, and I wanted to make myself better.
I I am grateful for where you are in life and where how we become friends and what we have done together. Dude, the fact that we have finally done this together.
Yeah.
You, me, and Josh, and a whole bunch of amazing people have done this together. I didn't expect to get that far. But that's something we can leave behind for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, when I started being part of that, was purely accidental. So, just to see it actually come up, and now that's going to be a book that somebody can actually purchase, and then I will be able to have something in someone else's hands.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty amazing, and I know there's a lot of people that have already said, I want to get a hold of it. But there again, you kind of set the goals, and you hope that the goals will make you better, but you always have to set the goals achievable to yourself. I mean, you could fail at your goals, but yet you had to make them where they were achievable.
I think at the moment, I can say the one thing I do want to tell our viewers before we move on to the next topic is set goals that you can gain skills that will help you right now. You can have large goals for the future, but try to achieve them in bits and pieces. Because you don't have to make the big leap. Make small steps towards the big goals.
Let me put it in easier terms for everybody. When you were born, your goal was to understand. At no point have you ever tried to, in your life, not understand. Your goal should have been to make yourself stronger and more intelligent. As you continue, this should be the thing that you try doing, making yourself smarter, intelligent, um, setting your goals where they're achievable. Intelligence can be something about understanding yourself and your well-being to being able to move your hand. And as a infant, that is one of the biggest accomplishments of being able to move your arm and actually understand you have control over it.
Yes, exactly. Now, I know we can talk for hours on this topic, but let's move on to the next part. Death is portrayed as multiple different things in here in our country because we're going to start with death forms here and move into the other ones in later episodes. um at Viewers, do you picture him as a or them, him, it, they, I don't know, Death as a skeleton in a long dark cloak with a scythe, a handsome man in a suit, or a lovely, shapely woman in a white tank top and cargo pants. All of these, yes, are from different TV shows or movies or pictures I've seen. But how do you picture the Reaper in just your brain?
For me to be right honest, there's two different ways, and for you to understand my thinking, there's two different things. Number one, there is death. Death is not the Reaper. Death is just solely something that comes and stops you, and you die. This person
Yes.
could be person could be the man on the white pale horse, and that comes up and rides along just to see people that need to be stopped. And that's what death is, the ultimate in a stop. Nothing past death, everything stops. Now, the Reaper, on the other hand, has always been fascinating to me because the Reaper is not death. Death happens, and the Reaper is the protector of the soul, is the one that is the guardian, is the one that will take you to the place that you need to go, could come to you as a person that you know, could be a person that you have loved and lost. It could be a lot of things. And that is the personal way that I believe. So I can't look at anyone and tell them that I'm correct and you are wrong because I don't officially know. But this is the way that I have come to understand it. This is the way I have lived it.
Yes. To build on that, my dad said when he was dying that he saw my mom there waiting to take him on. My granny had said that her two husbands, the ones that died before she came and had been sitting there with her and then took her on to the next step. But my other friend said that she saw just a bright light that talked to her and told her everything would be fine, everything would be okay. So that in and of itself are these experiences.
I will tell you now, if you guys never hear it from me, my favorite actress was Betty White.
Yes.
And I will tell you right now, I, as a fan, miss her. But nothing was better to hear that before she passed, she was absolutely looking forward to seeing Alan. Alan was her husband. Alan and her went in and out many different times, and then finally they got married. And when they got married, Betty White kept her name, and it was just like, okay, so what do we do? When she passed away, right before she passed away, the people that were around her said that she was looking up and saying, "Oh, there's Alan. I can see him." And it was a big happiness to hear that Alan was able to take her. Now, I have never seen this, so I don't know. I've seen things in my life I can't explain. So, is it Alan that's going to take me? Probably not. But it is one of those things that I am absolutely waiting to see what is coming at me.
Yeah, I don't know. I do know for like this my one of my most favorite residents when I was a CNA, she had her kids that she lost when they were young, they came and they played in her room, and they were waiting for mommy to come with them. And then when she finally passed away, she went with them. So that was one of the most heartbreaking but wonderful things I think I've ever heard. Just as it made me happy as much as when Dad said, "No, Mom's here. She's going to take me. I'll be okay." For her to finally see her kids again, I never saw her smile so brightly before then. You know, but
Right.
in other instances, I wrote. Well, before I move on to that, in stories, you're going to see it different ways, guys. Like in one of the stories that I've read on the Cinders on the Owlite Society, I had portrayed the man in the suit version because he didn't want to scare the young girl because her mom was passing away out of nowhere, and he had come with her grandpa to take care of him. Well, her to take care of for him to come get her and help her pass over, but also he wanted her to know that she was destined to help a nursing home, and there would be a lot of death there whether she liked it or not, because yeah, that is the one thing in nursing homes that happens that you can't help. As a CNA, I've seen so many deaths, but I wanted to put it somewhere in my writing what I've seen. And one of the things that I know, guys, we don't do death. We don't want to talk about death. We don't ever want to see death. We give it our dead loved ones to people to take care of when they die. The funeral home, the coroner, the death doula, different types of people help us with that part. But unfortunately, we're all going to die one day. And we need to look at it from our point of view, what we may see. And there's so much. Yes?
I just want everybody to know that you have to really understand the quality of life. And when you're understanding that, it should brace you for understanding death a little bit more. There absolutely is a reason and a need for death.
Yes. There is a reason for death. There is a need for death. And it's not just something I'm obsessed with. It's something I want us all to learn more about, because I have been watching people die since I was a child. But have you had that conversation with your family about what you want done with your body after you pass away?
Yeah, I've had this conversation many different times. Um, I have said it very clearly that if they all feel that they need to have a slight funeral, they can have one, because honestly, it just ain't going to matter to me none. But I would like to be cremated, and then at some point after everything, um, nicer weather permitting, whatever, let's go ahead and have a celebration of life. Uh, Pick up every skid you can, bring it someplace, and invite everybody to it. Make a massive announcement that this is going to happen, and we'll all celebrate. And if I have any possibility of watching this, I want to see everybody celebrate. I want to see everybody have a great time. I want to see people tell stories. And yes, absolutely, I know it's going to be really hard, but I am an asshole, so if you can find a good story, good luck.
Yes, definitely. Make sure you have talked to your loved ones about this. I want to be cremated and I want to be put in little Hello Kitty urns and given to my kids and my husband. And I just want to be the weird little cat on the shelf, okay? I don't care if it's different characters from the Hello Kitty series. Fine. But I just think that's the most hilarious way to be remembered. Yeah, mom's weird. She's over there in that little urn. And then I'm
So,
just going to mess with you afterwards. But we've had the conversation with our family. We've thought about our death. We know what death, the Grim Reaper, looks like. We know what people say happens when they die, but we have different accounts of people. I told you what my family members said as they were passing. Now, some of the other comments that I have are when I asked my best friend, she saw death at, okay, I've already done that part. On Quora, here, I'll put the link in the chat so you can go read all the replies because there's so many. On Quora, Deborah says she floated over her body and watched them as they tried to revive her. And while she did so, she felt a higher power. She called it God, she said you could call it anything. But she felt like a higher power had her and she was loved. Stefan says, "Hi, Stefan. Go check out Fracture Mind Publishing. You need to read their stuff. More lore from the mythos and the monster I love are the ones that I keep in my bag. When I die, I may not go to heaven. I don't know if they let cowboys in. Well, my dear sir, I've seen so many cowboy tombstones around here. I think, according to everybody I know, they let cowboys in."
there's a song by Johnny Cash that yes, sir.
Um, he has an important message. Let's see. Killer Beat says they only.
So I
Yes.
gotta apologize. I just got an emergency call, so I need to depart.
Okay. Have fun. Be safe. Please come back alive.
Yep.
Mwah! Bye. That was why we started the show early, so I could have some of the show with him. But, okay. You are allowed to believe whatever you believe. I am not at any point going to tell you to believe what I believe. But I am going to say I do love hearing these type of stories. She floated over her body and she saw herself. I'm not going to discredit that. I see that a lot. I've seen so many stories about people floating over their body. There's an emergency. He is part of the emergency peoples that is called to emergencies in his area. So he is going to go help because a bunch of emergency vehicles have already went there from different areas. It is a multi-county problem at this point. So they are going to go do their best to take care of those people that are in distress. And that's about all I know about the process. But I do know he's going to do his best to help. Now, when Killer Beat had drowned when they were 7, they said they only saw blackness. And when they were brought back to consciousness, that's all they remembered. And many people believe in that. There have been so many different sorry, my brain just crashed on me. There have been so many people tell stories about only seeing blackness when they die. But others have seen bright lights. I have seen all sorts of stories. One person I don't know, these people did not give their names. On the next accounts, they were anonymous. But here is the site where I found this. It says, I have collapsed during a presentation one day. All breathing and blood circulation stopped. I felt as if I was plummeting down an endless hole while my peers cried for help. I was revived and still have no memory of the little bit of time before and after my death. That is another way that it can happen. Sometimes in other of the different ways I've seen people die, I've seen a motorcycle crash where he was thrown over, and when he hit, even with helmet and gear on, he was gone when he hit the ground. And I found out on that day that after that, I was going to be having a tiny little man soon. So that was scary on both accounts. There had been that one joke that that you've seen, they found him up there, over there, and over there. A family member had shot themselves in the head, and their brain had went in multiple different places. And dude, EMTs have got to have the worst nightmares when they're the first people on the scenes there. Nurses, they receive gunshot victims and they're still breathing, but most of their chest is gone. How you see death and how you see death when you die. I don't actually know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I'm going to die of cancer. I don't know if my lungs are going to give out. I don't know if I'm going to go into the 7-Eleven and get a Dr. Pepper and then I'm gone because I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. That happened to my aunt, but she lived after being shot in the face. It's hard. But okay, I'm going to read one more thing. One more from the independent company before I go on. The companies that clean up the mess have a worse job. You know what? I'm betting they have bad nightmares. All of them together. I'm not going to say one is worse than the other. Because one, you come and you see the people and you have to figure out what to do with the bodies. One, you're trying to save the person. And you don't know if you can because pieces are missing. And then one, you come in behind that and you have to figure out what to do about the blood and the remains that are left. So I'm not going to say any of them are worse. I'm going to say they're all painful. Yeah. Just once will do it. I don't want to do it at all. Because I've seen some bad things and I've read some bad things. Okay. And guys, I have no idea what's going on with my camera. I think it's dead. The last one that I would think, this is why I go with my French one being plausible as well. This person says, I was standing in front of a giant wall of light. It stretched up, down, left and right, as far as they could see. There are, yes, before I move on, I put the Independent UK site because how I started to move on with this particular thought process for the show, I'm like, what do people actually see when they die? Because I know how the Grim Reaper is portrayed. I love the one on Supernatural. He was amazing. I love the one in the Color of Magic series. He was amazing. But also On a Pale Horse by Pierce Anthony. I was re-listening to that one and fell asleep and picturing what I would do in that land. But what happens when you die? I want you to actually... This episode is going to be shorter than originally planned because a lot of it was going to be conversational between him and I. Hence why we started early. You will see things as you go through life. You will see death around you. You will see your loved ones die of one thing or another because I have put my grandparents, aunts and uncles, cousins, mom and dad, they have all been buried. They have all passed away of different reasons. Motorcycle accident, suicide, cancer, asthma attack. Her COPD she just quit. It didn't work anymore for her. I don't know what's in store for me. And I'm not afraid of dying. I don't want to die now. That is not my goal. I want to live. I want to see my kids grow up. I want to graduate. If they have kids, I want to meet them. If not, I want to meet their pets. I want to see them get a job. I want to see them get their dreams. I've been able to help my kids get their art published at this age. And what I want you to take away from this episode is life can be as short as 8 months. Life can be as short as a day. Life can be as long as 120 years. Apparently, there have been 120-year-old people. But I don't know what time we have left. We are going to have arthritis. We are going to have pain. we are going to have so much happen to us. But at the end of the day, it is worth having a messy house to have had story time, to have talked about different animals and what animals they want to have on their pretend farm. I was talking about a pretend farm earlier. We talked about what clothes we liked, which animes we wanted to watch, what we can make from clothes that are too small for us. You know, these are things. We took grandma's shirt and made a pillow out of it. So no matter what, she can have a hug from grandma. So the thing I want you to take away from this today, my dear viewers, is you are going to die. But you know what we have right here when you're listening to my podcast? Time to think, time to learn, time to be. Go enjoy your loved ones. Go enjoy your rent. Sit at your house and read a book or watch a movie and talk with who's there with you. If you live alone and you have a friend, see how they're doing. Feel free to send them a message. I don't know what to talk about with any of my friends, so I just send them random gifts and messages and videos. But you are here now. Find a way to live your life and leave something behind for others. My shows and my writing are what I'm leaving behind for everyone. My journals that I've written in are left behind for my kids. They're going to be like, what the heck? This is only a partial story. Mom wrote it when she was 15. She doesn't know where she was going with it yet. And so on. Just have the conversations. Learn how to cook. Learn how to bake. Learn a new skill. Be amazing. Thank you for being here. Bye.